Okay, today we are going to be dividing polynomials using long division. It's been a while since you've done long division, so we're going to do a refresher with problem number 1. So we have 272 divided by 12, and the instructions say divide using long division. So make yourself your little division house. The first number goes on the inside, so 272 goes on the inside, and it needs to be divided by 12. We need to show the word, yes. We're doing a long division without a calculator. It's not that bad. You did it in 4th grade. If you handle it in 4th grade, I promise it won't be that bad. I promise you. Okay, so when we are trying to divide, the first thing you need to see is does the 12 go into the 2? No. So I have to move over so that I have 2 numbers to look at. Now I need to check to see does 12 go into 27? Yes. How many times? Twice. So, I put a 2 over to 27. Bring down 24. Where did the 24 come from? Yeah, 12 times 2 gave us the 24. What do we do next? Subtract the 24. And what's 27 minus 24? 3. Yeah, because can 12 go into 3? No, so we do have to bring down the 2. Now can 12 go into 32? Yes, how many times? More than what? Twice. And what is 2 times 12? 24. Now what do I do with the 32 and 24? Subtract these. And 32 minus 24 is 8. And what is 8 called? When I have no more numbers to drop down, 8 is called your remainder. Remainder. So today, when we write our answer, the top number is your answer, so our answer is 22, plus our remainder by what we're dividing by, which is 12. So 22 plus 8, 12. Well, that's how we're doing it today with polynomials. Okay, so that is a refresher with only numbers. Now the remaining 6 problems, now we're going to be doing the long division, but with polynomials. So if you notice on problem number 2, we have a trinomial that needs to be divided by a binomial. So go ahead and draw your division house. And the first polynomial goes inside. So we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. The binomial goes out front, x plus 3. I'm about to show you how you divide it. Now here is the trick to figure out what are the answers that go at the top. You always have to look at your first term. So look at the first term in the binomial and the first term in your trinomial. And you have to ask yourself, what do I multiply x by to get x squared? X. That answer will go in the second spot. It's just like what we did right here. This answer went in the second spot. Didn't go over the 2, it went over the 7. And once we got this 2, what did we do with that 2 and the 12? What did we do with the 2 and the 12? Multiply this. So once you have your answer for the top, you need to multiply it by what's out front. So the x plus 3 needs to be multiplied by x. So x times x is x squared, and x times 3 is 3x. So we did x times x, gave us x squared. We did x times 3, gave us 3x. So after we got that 24, what did we do with that 24? We subtracted it. So both of those numbers need to be subtracted. So we put them in parentheses, so I remember both of those get subtracted. So when I subtract, what is x squared minus x squared? 0. What is 7x minus 3x? 4x. You always need to keep two terms. So the plus 12, bring it down. Now, to find your answers, you need to look at your first term. So out here, our first term is an x. Right here, our first term is a 4x. Yes, now we do it again. So I have to ask myself, what do I multiply x by to get the 4x? Of 4. So that's my last answer. So positive 4 is my last answer for the top. And once you get that answer, we need to multiply it by x plus 3. So this time, we need to multiply x plus 3 by the 4. So what is 4 times x? 4x. And what is 4 times 3? 12. Once you get that, you need to subtract. And again, I'm using parentheses, so I remember both of these need to be subtracted. Why did I use a 3? Because the 3 was multiplied by 4 to give us the 12. So the 3 and the 4 multiplied to get the 12. Okay, so now I subtract. What is 4x minus 4x? 0. What is 12 minus 12? 0. Do I have any more terms to drop down? No, so that means I'm finished. So 0 is my remainder. So if your remainder is 0, you don't have to write it. So our answer is what we have at the top. So either box it in, or you can write your answer out to the side. So our answer is x plus 4. It's not too bad. You just have to remember to look at your first term. What do you multiply x by to get x squared? That would be x. What do you multiply x by to get the 4x? That would be 4. Yes?
So the question would have to let
If you have a remainder that is not 0, you will have to add it to your answer. And we will have examples where you can see that. Okay, more practice. Number 3. The first one goes on the inside. So inside we'll have 2x squared plus 11x plus 5. The last one goes out front, which is x plus 1. Now to find your answers, look at the first term. So for this one we have x, this one we have 2x squared. So what do you multiply x by to get the 2x squared? 2x. That first answer goes in the second spot, always. After we find that answer, what do we do next? Multiply. So what is 2x times x? 2x squared. What is 2x times 1? 2x. What do I do next? Subtract these. So what is 2x squared minus 2x squared? 0. What's 11x minus 2x? 9x. You always want to keep two terms, so drop down the plus 5. And again, the trick to finding your answers, make sure you look at the first term. So out here we have x, over here we have the 9x. So what do we multiply x by to get the 9x? A 9. So the last answer is positive 9. Once you get that answer, what do you do with it? Multiply. So what is 9 times x? 9x. What is 9 times 1? 9. What do I do with both of these? Subtract these. This will be on your test Thursday, so we need to make sure we're paying attention. Now subtract both of these. So it's 9x minus 9x. 0. Be careful here with 5 minus 9. Negative 4. Do I have any other terms to drop down? No. So that means I am finished, and that means my negative 4 is called my remainder. when you write your final answer, you need to add the remainder over the binomial. So if your remainder is a number that is not 0, you have to add remainder over binomial. Every single time. We'll do that today. We'll do that again tomorrow. So you have to add remainder over binomial. Always. Binomial means it has 2 terms. Like this x plus 1 has 2 terms that are being added. Or they could be subtracted. So remainder over binomial. And make sure you have this addition symbol up here. And I'll highlight it because that's probably the most common mistake today. Students will forget to put the plus sign. So you have to add remainder over binomial. Next one. What goes on the inside? 2x squared plus 7x plus 7. What goes on the outside? X plus 2. How do I find my answers? Look at the first term. We have an x, we have a 2x squared. Yes, you would multiply by what? 2x. If I just multiplied it by 2, that would give me 2x, but I want it to be 2x squared. So I have to multiply it by 2x. After I find that answer, what do I do with that answer? Multiply by x plus 2, so what's 2x times x? 2x squared. What is 2x times 2? 4x. What do I do with these? Subtract both of them. So what is 2x squared minus 2x squared? 0. What is 7x minus 4x? 3x. Always keep 2 terms, so you need to drop down to positive 7. Now look at your numbers out front. We have an x and we have a 3x. So what do we multiply x by to get the 3x?
3.
Positive 3 is our last answer. After I get that answer, what do I do with it? Multiply it. So what is 3 times x? 3x. So what is 3 times 2? Multiplying, so 3 times 2 would be 6. What do I do with these? Subtract them. Yeah, 3x minus 3x is 0. What is 7 minus 6? 1. Do I have any other terms to drop down? No, so that means I'm finished, and the 1 is called my remainder. So make sure you add remainder over binomial. So you need to add 1 over x plus 2. Don't forget the addition symbol. So you need to add 1 over x plus 2. Now it seems complicated, but is it really? Yeah, it gets easier.
On number 7, would we need 2 more words?
Number 7 is just more words, yeah. Okay, number 5. What goes on the inside? The trinomial, the 4x squared plus 3x plus 10. What goes out front? X minus 2. Look at your first numbers. What do we multiply x by to get 4x squared? 4x. That goes in the second spot. After I get that 4x, what do I do with it? Multiply. So what's 4x times x? 4x squared. What's 4x times negative 2? Negative 8x. What do I do next? Subtract both of these. So what is 4x squared minus 4x squared? 0. I want to be very careful here. We have 3x minus negative 8x. Let me write it over here. 3x minus negative 8x. So it changes to addition, and that gives us 11x. What do I need to remember to do next? Bring down a second term, so bring down the plus 10. And again, look at your numbers out front. We have x and 11x. So what do we multiply x by to get 11x? So 11 is our last answer at the top. What do I do with that 11? Multiply it. So what is 11 times x? 11x. And then negative 22. And what do I do with both of those? Subtract. So what's 11x minus 11x? 0. Be careful here, we're subtracting a negative. So what happens when I subtract a negative? Changes to addition. So what's 10 plus 22? 32. Do I have any other terms to drop down? No. So that means I am finished, and what is 32 called? The remainder. And make sure you add remainder over binomial. So add 32 over x minus 2. Okay, I want you to do number 6. You do number 6. We'll check your work here in a couple minutes. No, I'm not going to give you the hard one to do. We did the hard one where we had the double negative. We're working on number 6. What did you multiply 3x5 to get 16x squared? 5x. What do I do with that 5x? Multiply it, so it's 3x times 5x. 15x squared. And 5x times 1. 5x. What do I do with these? Subtract them, so it's 15x squared minus 15x squared. 0. What is 8x minus 5x? 3x. What do I do with the minus 12? Bring it down. Again, look at your first term. We have a 3x and a 3x. So what do you multiply 3x by to get a 3x? A 1. Now multiply then. What is 1 times 3x? 3x. And 1 times 1? 1. Both of these need to be subtracted, so it's 3x minus 3x. Cancel out, and negative 12 minus 1. Negative 13, and the negative 13 is called my remainder. So I make sure you add remainder over binomial. So your answer is not complete if you leave that remainder off. So add remainder over binomial. Okay, the last one, number 7. They just added an extra term in there. So we're going to do it the exact same way. We'll just have to do it one extra time. So we have 6x cubed minus 14x squared plus 10x minus 4, x minus 1 out front. This would just be called a polynomial. If that's more than 3 times, it's called a polynomial. Okay, same process. Look at your first term. So we have an x and a 6x cubed. So what if we multiply x by to get a 6x cubed? 6x squared. X to the first times x to the second will give us x to the third, or x cubed. Now we need to multiply. So what is 6x squared times x? 6x. X squared times x is x cubed. And what is 6x squared times negative 1? Negative 6x squared. And once I have those, what do I do next? Subtracting. How do we get cubed? Because x to the second times x to the first is x to the third. When you're multiplying, add those exponents. So what is 6x cubed minus 6x cubed? 0. And be careful, because what happens when I subtract a negative? Changes to plus. So it's negative 14 plus 6. Negative 8 for the x squared. What's next?
Bring down.
Bring down.
All of it, right?
Just the 10x. Just keep 2 terms. Just keep 2 terms. Now again, look at your terms up front. So we have x, and we have negative 8x squared. So what do we multiply x by to get negative 8x squared? Negative 8x. Now we need to multiply. So it's negative 8x times x. Negative 8x squared. What's negative 8x times negative 1?
8.
Yes, positive 8x. What do we do next? Subtract these. And what happens when I subtract a negative? You get positive 8x squared, and negative 8x squared, positive 8x squared, those will cancel. And what is 10x minus 8x? 2x. What do I do next? Bring down a second term to bring down the minus 4. And last round, we have an x and a 2x. So what do I multiply x by to get the 2x? 2. So the last answer is 2. Multiply it, so what's 2 times x? 2x. What's 2 times negative 1? Negative 2. Both of these need to be subtracted, so what is 2x minus 2x? 0. And what's negative 4 minus negative 2? Negative 4 minus negative 2. What happens when you subtract the negative? Changes to added, so it's negative 4 plus 2. Negative 2.
Wait, what?
The signs are the same, so you subtract them. 4 minus 2 is 2. The bigger one is negative, so our answer would be negative 2. So it is negative 4 minus negative 2. Now, do I have any more terms to drop down? No, so that means that I am finished. So negative 2 is called my what? Remainder. And how do I write the remainder? Add remainder over binomial. So make sure you have the addition symbol. And you need the remainder over binomial.